Tony Yuhas, and I'm from North Brunswick, New Jersey. My livelihood, what I do for work, is that I'm actually a residential painter. So I paint houses and buildings, interior, exterior, for a living. The reason I came to Alliance, medically speaking, was because I had a sore left shoulder. It was starting to give me trouble at work. I was having a hard time sleeping, and I really like to play golf. I don't get out as much as I like, but I like to play golf, and it was killing my swing, man. So between the three, probably most importantly was sleeping. I was just pretty much waking up every night. If I moved a certain way, I felt like my whole shoulder was pulling, and at that point I knew I needed to get something done about it.
Tony came into the clinic in August of 2022. He came in reporting left shoulder pain, sharp pains. He worked full-time as a painter, so he was doing a lot of overhead movements repetitively throughout the day. He saw Dr. Rajaram and I immediately, and we deciphered that it was some sort of rotator cuff tendinopathy going on. He had some bicep tendinitis, and he also had some lateral epicondylitis of his elbow. So there were a lot of factors going into why he was in pain.
First and only place I came was Alliance. Started because my father-in-law first came here because of his knees, talked really highly of Alliance. Then both my kids came for back and minor different things, but they just really loved it. And you know, if the family says it's great, why would you disagree? So this is why I came here. And the challenges that I had, like work-wise, I would be really sore by the end of the day. It didn't keep me from painting, but I was uncomfortable. And I wasn't in extreme pain, but it was like a nagging kind of injury. Got to the point where I realized I was being stubborn and I needed to get something done and get it fixed.
So Tony had surgery with Dr. Rajaram beginning of this year. I saw him immediately after that. So right away we focused on regaining range of motion. We focused on trying to get some of that strength back and really just help him tolerate his job as a painter. He does all that overhead movement, so we worked into trying to make that overhead movement more tolerable.
My favorite part about coming to Alliance, I would say, is the atmosphere is lively and energetic. Everybody on staff is so nice. They treat you, you get to feel like you're part of a family. They all like, hey, how's it going? What's going? You know, Tony, how you been? You know, that kind of thing. It makes it easy to come on a regular basis and do what you need to do to really bring about the healing process. I started to feel stronger day to day and week to week with some of the different things we were doing. Even pre-surgery, I started to feel stronger, and then when I had surgery afterwards, you know, I was weaker. I had to kind of build that back up. It was a relief, man, to be able to go home, particularly after surgery, and sleep, and actually sleep through the night and not wake up with a shoulder pain was the greatest thing in the world.
After we helped Tony regain his overhead range of motion and make his job duties more tolerable, he expressed to us that he wanted to get back to golfing. Golfing is something that he loved doing, but he was currently having pain completing a round of golf. So we worked into some more like high velocity exercises. We worked into some thoracic mobility kind of exercises, really just trying to get him back on the golf course. So actually, once Tony completed his treatment, him and I celebrated by playing a round of golf together.
My golf game has improved, which is always nice. Work is not as painful. Sometimes I'm still exhausted at the end of a day, but I don't have a throbbing in my shoulder that I used to have pre-surgery. So it's good to be able to move your arms and that kind of thing.
So I saw Tony immediately after surgery. Right after that, he had pain moving his shoulder, he had pain in his elbow. Now he's able to move his shoulder completely. He has full overhead mobility. He's able to get through his job without any pain. And he's also able to play golf.
I mean, Dr. Rajaram, from the beginning, the first time I met him, he within a few minutes pinpointed exactly what the MRI told us 3 months later was wrong with my shoulder. Then when he described what the surgery process would be, I knew I could trust him and believe him. And it was exactly what he said. Very simplistic, 3 small holes. I wore a sling for a day. I took it off reluctantly. I threw it away like he told me to and started moving my arm. And everything he told me was true. So I would thank him, and honestly the whole Alliance team from top to bottom had, I can't rave enough about it, about this place, about Alliance as a whole, and the amount of people that I've referred here will not stop, because I believe in what's the work that we're doing here.
Hey everybody, so Dr. Arun Rajaram here, and I'm with one of my favorite patients of all time, Tony here. And we talked about this before, that he's the reason why I love my job and I went into medicine in the first place. You know, people like Tony who just, you know, are such just fun-loving people, enthusiastic about life, hardworking, cares about friends, family, and the community. You know, being able to help people get back to what they love to do and what they enjoy doing in their day-to-day lives, be it with their friends or family, be it at work, is, you know, the center of what we do. So much of what I do as a sports medicine surgeon is helping people get back to their quality of life.
Yeah.
So, of course, you know, when I have an athlete who gets hurt on the field, or, you know, someone gets hurt at work with a specific traumatic injury, you know, those are components of my job as well. But so much of my job is taking care of folks like Tony who, you know, as a professional painter, every day, whether it's painting homes or, you know, office sites and things like that, that day-to-day wear and tear on your body. So much of our day-to-day wear and tear life accumulates over time. It's like your car tires. The more you drive your car, you see that wear in the rubber, and then it takes one pothole or something that, you know, for you, a big long stroke with a long brush, one little right or wrong move kind of pushes it over the edge, and then can lead to symptoms that don't go away. And then at our practice with Alliance, we have our whole crew from surgeons like myself, but our physical therapists and conservative care folks who help, number one, evaluate what's going on and also figure out what the best plan is to get that taken care of. So in Tony's situation, you know, that's what it was, from years of obviously painting, you know, for a living and doing a lot of things at home. That AC joint completely wore down. You know, that's such a common problem. People think of big, crazy football injuries, but most of the things we're seeing in the office are not that. It's more, like I said, the overuse related. So that AC joint between the collarbone and shoulder blade completely wears down, and then every time you're trying to paint or push, those bones are just hitting. And then when you try to sleep, again, those things are on each other. So that, in my world, is such a simple problem to address, but for your life, it's a big deal, you know? So being able to, number one, help you understand what's going on, diagnose it, and then come up with a treatment plan, and then ultimately doing the arthroscopic surgery to fix the problem helps eliminate that, essentially. So then you're able to do that. And then moreover, the technology that we have today now, arthroscopically, like you spoke about before, the 3 little camera spots in the shoulder, and being able to move that arm literally the next day.
Unbelievable.
So that's the technology that exists today, that previously people would think, oh my God, I need a shoulder surgery, I'm gonna be shut down for a year. No, it's get up and go, you know, from that standpoint. So that's just to see Tony be able to get back to everything you love doing, of course at work, but then you said even your golf game is better now, you know, you're able to do things with your friends and family that would otherwise bug you and now aren't. That's so satisfying to me, because I know I've helped your quality of life and being able to get back to doing what you love to do. And that's why I love what I do, because being able to help you feel that joy again, feel that enjoyment to be able to do things you love, it makes it so satisfying every day. You're my hero in that regard.
I would have loved it, and it would have been more glamorous to have said it was a football injury, but it was not. As you told me, it was just wear and tear and just getting older, things like that occur. But to be able to come into your office and you within minutes tell me ultimately what was wrong with my shoulder, what an MRI said months later was exactly what this guy told me day one, and then the surgical procedure, short, sweet, you know, throwing the sling away the next day and starting to move my arm. Everything he said start to finish, you said start to finish, was absolutely true. And within months, I mean, I was playing golf 6 weeks later. Granted, I wasn't really lifting the club too high on my backswing, but I was out playing golf, no pain, and feeling good. I was back to work. I really took a week off, but you had even said to me I didn't have to. I just did because I thought, geez, I should milk this a little, right? I did have surgery. I should at least take a week off. But I really went back to work pretty quickly and was able to do my job.
We did say no dishes for 6 months at home.
Yeah,
that was the only restriction I said was no dishes at home for 6
no
months.
dishes. I didn't do any heavy lifting for the first few weeks, but I did really rehab and learn exactly how to get back to normal, and normal's now better than what normal was before, because I was living with an injured shoulder. So So this guy is amazing.
Too kind.
And he took care of me, start to finish, and really made me whole again.
Right, and you did the work on your end. That's what I tell my patients. I'm like, listen, my surgery is one day, and your work starts immediately and has to continue every day. So
yeah,
you did the hard work.
There definitely was work that went into it,
Yeah.
but it's worthwhile when you know that the end result is going to be, feeling completely healthy again and not having pain. You put the time in, right? So,
investing in yourself.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
So thanks, man.
Of course, Tony, you're a rock star. Thank you. Thanks, bud.
Don't hesitate. I was stubborn. If you got a pain somewhere or a problem, have a professional tell you what might be wrong with it. And you may or may not need surgery, but physical therapy, occupational therapy, chiropractic services can really change your life, and it definitely has changed mine. So I would highly recommend calling Alliance, setting up an appointment, and seeing what they have to offer.